Hello, and welcome to another video. We're going to be covering some of the issues that SWTOR still has. We've limited groups down to 4-man for pre-mades, which is a great change that they've done. However, there's still a lot more stuff that they could do, and I felt like this is a great time to make a video because they're about to do the live stream, and before the patch actually comes out, there are actually some things that they could even do right now that I can suggest that would make the future patch or the patch afterwards even better for PvP. So getting into the first one, this is a really big issue and a lot of people kind of overlook it. It would be declining matches, whether it's intentional or unintentional. This game just puts you into a match regardless of whether you have any intent of accepting or declining. It just already matches you, and let's say, here, let's just open for the sake of this. I want to queue for both of these, and I have no intentions of accepting either of these if it happens. Don't do this. This is kind of rude, I would say, but it's a feature. And if I decide to hit decline, that match still goes on without me, and it assumes that I was there, and the match was built around me being there. Unfortunately, I won't be there, so that match will be kind of unbalanced because it built around me being there. Now imagine if you're a tank and healer. You can immediately see the problem here. So, just like pretty much every other PvP game out there, how about we don't start the match until everybody has accepted? I know it seems like a crazy ideal, but pretty much every other PvP game does that, and they do it for a reason because of this issue right here. This has actually been an issue for a long time, but it's more of an issue now than ever. So having that would also help arenas. Arenas definitely have this issue. It's a really huge issue for arena. This would make pops a little bit less consistent. There would be a lot of times where matches just won't start because there's a lot of AFKers, but you'll also gain the ability to make sure that the pre-mades are not avoiding each other. So that is a common day thing that you'll see. This also means that if somebody accepts, it means that they're there, and if they want to dodge, they're going to have to take the lockout, which is the win. Because then at least, players have something that they can visually see and have something to visually blame rather than it happening behind the scenes. So this would be a great change. Obviously, the Guild Wars 2 system is a great system that they could copy if they were interested in making the queue system a little bit better. Not only do they have a ready check system for everybody, they then have a map voting system, so you guys could see like maybe 3 random maps, and then you would all vote on them, and then it would be a pie chart spin, so whatever gets voted for most has the most odds of rolling, but it could roll on the one that has the least amount of votes. So that means pretty much any map could get play. I honestly think the Guild Wars 2 system is great, and I think it would be a great complement to this game because there's way too many times that you'll either get Hypergate for the entire day, or you'll get Void Star for the entire day, or you'll only see hot balls all day. It's not that fun, honestly. When you played a couple of abandons in a row or Quest hot balls in a row, you're kind of like, maybe I don't really want to continue playing, or get trapped in a Hypergate for the entire day that you have to, play. You're probably losing your mind after the second or third one. Outside of just declining matches, healers are in a bad state, and it just makes everything worse. Time to kill is fast, damage is high, so high in fact that complete team wipes is easily obtained even by mediocre players, leaving matches feeling quite unbalanced and unfun. We rarely saw complete team wipes back in the day, and it was quite difficult to achieve without really good players getting mostly optimal situations. Now it's just a regular everyday experience, making most games, even with a healer, sometimes feel like a regular old DPS game. It's silly that players also play in mind of dying as the worst thing ever. Dying doesn't mean anything. Multiple players should be able to dispatch you relatively easy in most situations. Not dying doesn't make you good. It just means that you avoided the fight for the majority of the game, which is barely considered PvP. If you go and watch old Warzones, there are day and night difference to what we have today, and majority preferred the way things were. Excuse me. Now here's an example right here. I hit decline here. Now that match is probably going to be a 3v4 or 3v3 or whoever else also didn't set the pop. Didn't affect my win rate, didn't do anything to me. Everything's still the same. My matchmaking rating is going to be the same, all that. They're going to assume that a DPS of 66% win rate just got into that match, but actually didn't. So that match is just automatically unbalanced. Not a good design. Back in the day, it was more than likely fine, but as time has gone, this is still the same system that we've had since pretty much launch, and it's just not, it's not good anymore. It's definitely showing its age. But a potential solution for healers, increasing the HP pool would help. I know some people would be against this, obviously, as it would obviously make percent heals a lot stronger than what they currently are. It would make certain classes way stronger. So for example, Sniper would be immediately infinitely stronger because of its percent heal. Marauder would be better because of the percent heal, mainly Annihilation. Lethality would be even stronger. Like, that's kind of nightmare fuel. Marauder being better would be nice, but their damage wouldn't necessarily be there, so I guess it wouldn't be a big deal. But for Sniper, oh, no, thank you. Their cover heal is a little strong, and if we were to get more HP, I do think it needs nerfed. But alternatively, what they could do is add more utility set bonuses or tacticals for healers, including maybe an extra ability to answer to the AoE damage spikes that we currently have. So for example, when slam spam starts going, or there's like a pyro setup or lethality, toxic haze spread, like stuff like that. There's a lot of AoE bursts that happen, especially with like lightning and elemental convection. Healers don't have an answer to that, and if their team gets caught, it is team wipe material basically, and it is very bad. It absolutely destroys the healer's resources, and it is hard to recover, especially if players aren't prepared for it. And when good players are able to abuse these things, pretty much means team wipe, and you're not going to recover from it. So with that in mind, having a new AoE heal for like Sorks, so for example, they used to have a natural preservation that could work for everybody, so like revivification, since you can spread that now, or not revivification, was it resurgence? Since you can spread that a lot easier now, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a natural pres work on everybody that has revivification or resurgence on them, or revivification, vice versa. Either way, it wouldn't be that bad. It'd give you an AoE option. Obviously, it would still be a relatively long cooldown, and also give play into the talent that lowers the cooldown of it. But at the same time, you know, kind of gets rid of their own self-heal. So if they were in a bad spot, they wouldn't have that. They'd be blowing it for the team. So it kind of like balances out, and it wouldn't be a bad idea. Then you've got things that are already good at AoE healing, but have no damage reduction. That would be Medicine Operative. It is absolutely paper, and it is a nightmare to play without guard. So giving it Revitalizers back, which is the stim boost damage reduction, the same thing that Lethality has, would be a great move forward. I think that would help them tremendously. And then for Mercenary, I really just feel like Mercenary should probably have better either heat management by moving the afterburners, I think it's called. It's like the vent heat one. Or is it basically this one? If they were able to take that over some of the other options, I think that would just make them a lot better than what they currently are, but also at the same time, the old cultural missile spam, honestly, I felt like it wasn't actually that oppressive or bad for the game. Obviously, it really simplified Mercular, but you know, sometimes simplifying the game when we've already simplified and dumbed down the game tremendously might be a good step forward to further emphasize that. Otherwise, undo a lot of the dumbing down and give us more of our tools that we used to have, and this wouldn't be an issue right now. And then additionally, they could also add Bolster back into the game. Not in the way that they used to, but basically make sure that everybody has at least up to 322 worth of stats, and then also give them 296 blue mastery augs if they don't already have them. Give them like 14 blue mastery augs worth of stats if they don't have any augments. And if they're only missing like 3, just give them 3 blue mastery augs worth of stats. So on and so forth. That would be the best way to tackle that. That means that if they're missing implants with set bonuses, obviously, and tacticals, they're still at a disadvantage, but it will help them be at basically a more competitive footing, which would allow for just better games in general. Now, the players who give up after one death, or even completely AFK in matches for conquests / PvP season rewards and weeklies, is another huge problem. Majority teams I see are mostly stealth, not contributing whatsoever to the match, but standing in objective zones to obtain credit. Medals need reworked to be more damage, protection, and healing focused in order to enforce proper play, along with objective medals that actually involve playing the real objective. An example of that is running orbs, backcapping the enemy node, scoring, and running the ball, and then obviously capping too. This way, people are actually playing the game for much longer to get credit for the match, as currently they don't really have to leave stealth once or twice. To enforce that, they can make it so medals are locked behind the roles, respected styles if you're tank, healer, or DPS. One for more healing past X amount of healing, damage, and protection all the same. This way, classes that can do all 3 can't just triple dip and get credit easy. It also just makes medals mean more and feel more rewarding for your gameplay. Then tie in with that to further promote gameplay, make weeklies, dailies, conquests, and PvP seasons medal related instead of win based, enforce personal performance and promote self-improvement over winning, as people overly obsess over some matches that are simply unwinnable. There's unfortunately so much toxicity from casuals regarding objective versus TDM that just doesn't have to exist, and only does due to the poor way the game is designed. It's a fixable system, and we have a capable systems designer. It's only a matter of time before he gets valuable feedback like this and is allowed to make changes, which I really hope at some point, you know, if somebody can get an interview of anyone, that's the person I really feel like we should aim at. He would be able to tell us like what's possible, what's not possible, and whether we could see some of this actually happening. And then finally, ranked. You've likely seen my video already on it, but this game needs some form of ranked back. It monetizes PvP and gives a proper cycle for PvPers to further improve and a reason to. This content plays itself and is far less effort than PvE content. Anyway, that's all I have for now. We still have a ways to go, but things are getting a bit better. Pruning and or adding in abilities back would be a nice thing overall for them to talk about in the future. I'm hoping we can see some sort of download content, aka DLC, or expansion they charge us for to ensure we actually get a decent amount of content. I would happily buy DLCs like ESO style just to get access to items related to PvP that shifted the meta in some sort of way. It'd be a very easy way to monetize PvP further, but also still allowing them to focus on pumping out PvE/story focused content, as PvP changes are mostly balance focused, tactical set bonus talent changes, and centered around changing the core combat loops or mechanics instead of creating new maps. Most maps we never really ever wanted, to be honest. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you guys again soon.